Hello, my name is Emery, and welcome to part 2 of my Tour de Fleece 2026 vlog. After I got back from my trip, I wanted to make sure that I at least did one more day of spinning outside, and so I found a spot in my neighborhood and set up shop for a couple of hours to get spinning. For this next section, please bear with me. The wind was super loud and my mic didn't quite pick up everything, but I tried to make it as audible as I could. First, I believe it's day 16 of Tour de Fleece. I think yesterday was a rest day, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm very excited to get back to spinning. This is my last of the Sailor Moon yarns. This is for Queen Serenity or Princess Serenity. I love how the colors are coming out. It's mostly white and yellow and the undyed wool, so it's a little more like a cream color. And then I have little hints of pink throughout, just to allude to Chibi Moon and Chibi Chibi, because they have pink hair, and I just had a little bit left over, so I just threw it in, but I think it looks really pretty. Yesterday I finished up the Chibi Chibi yarn. The color gradients with the pinks and the blues are just so pretty, and I actually got it to be a lace weight, which was one of my goals. The fibers broke a couple of times, but I think overall, and when I was getting it off of the spool and onto the nitty knotty, it was holding up totally fine, so I think that'll be good. But I'm interested to see, because I wanted to practice spinning thinner and thinner, I'm curious to see all of the Sailor Moon yarns back to back to see if I gradually got it thinner. But yeah, it's been a really fun series. I think I did bite off a little bit more than I could chew with doing a collection of 12 yarns, all with one theme, but it gave me a lot of practice, and I just needed that final push to commit to reading the whole series, since it is 12 volumes, so I knew it was going to take a bit, but I was shocked. Time flew when I was reading those. I think it's because there was so much action and so many battle scenes where you could just fly through a chapter super fast. I am currently spinning in my neighborhood. It's been fun to just see like little butterflies everywhere and birds in the trees. I'm almost done. I only have this nest, and then I have 3 more, and then I'll be done with the singles for this yarn. So I'm probably gonna stay outside. I did have to shift because the shadows are moving. So I'll probably have to shift maybe one more time, and then I'll go inside once this is done. But this one's been so nice to spin. The chibi one for some reason was really rough, so I don't know what I did differently there, but this one is going really smoothly, really nicely. I haven't had any breakage. I think I'm spinning about the same as I did yesterday, so I hope this is going to be another lace weight, but if not, that's okay. You're learning. I saw a quote on Pinterest, and it was something along the lines of, if the goal is experience, then you never lose, or something like that. I'll try to find it and put it up. But I think that that's something that I've been thinking about with getting back to drawing, getting back to just doing crafts and doing fun things. It's not about having a perfect final product at the end. It's about, wow, that plane is really close to us. Like I was saying, with everything and like getting back into crafting and then just continuing to spin, and with Tour de Fleece, like pushing me to get a lot of different fibers ready, then experience is the most important thing that you can gain from it, not just the finished product. So that's been really fun, and I hope it's encouraging for other people too, no matter what you're doing. It is July 22nd. I just finished spinning my Sailor Serenity yarn, and this is probably all I'm gonna do today, but I'll check in when I start spinning again. During this time of Tour de Fleece, I also got to see my friend's band play for a concert, and it was a lot of fun. I just had to throw this in here real quick before we get back to the spinning. So today is July 26th. It's the last day of Tour de Fleece. And I finished spinning all of that blue and purple wool. And it is so pretty. I have no clue what amount this is, but yeah, let's go and see what all the stats are. One, two, three, four, five, 76, 77, 78, 79, 79. All right, we got 79 yards, but I'm gonna double check it real quick. And here it is, all skeined up. I still need to wash it, but you can see all the colors in there. So pretty. So these are the Brazilian lemonade, and I don't have a name for this one yet, but they're done. I just need to wash them, but we have some stuff going on in the kitchen today, so I don't think I'm gonna get them washed before Tour de Fleece is done. I'll probably do that tomorrow, but they are all done. Turned out so cool. I feel like this one almost looks like cactus bread or something. And then the purpley one, oh, so cool. But yeah, but these just need to be washed and then they'll be done. All right, so I have written down all of the information for this year's Tour de Fleece and all of the skeins that I made. So I ended up doing 5 skeins. I wanted to do a little bit more, but with the time that I had and with my schedule, this is what I was able to do. So I have the Sailor Saturn yarn, which ended up being 104 yards, the Brazilian Lemonade, which was 244 yards, the Chibi Chibi Moon yarn was 140, Queen Serenity was 132, and then the Midnight Swim was 154. So I ended up not really explaining my math super well, and I got my numbers wrong, so let's just go over it again. If my final skein measured up to be 100 yards, then that means that there's about 200 yards worth of singles in it. Since I applied the 2 halves of the single together, I add up the total length of the single plus the total length of the skein. And this is how I found out my total spun yardage for my Sailor Moon yarns. But for my 2 skeins where I made 1 single from fiber and then plied it with a commercial yarn from my stash, I took the final skein's yardage and just multiplied it by 2. And that leaves us with 312 yards for Sailor Saturn, 488 yards for the Brazilian Lemonade, 420 yards for Chibi Chibi Moon, 396 yards for Queen Serenity, and 308 yards for Midnight Swim. By this point, I finally came up with a name. And all of this totaled up to be 1,924 yards, which is 1.09 miles worth of spinning. So these are my real total numbers, so just ignore what I wrote down previously in my notebook. I've already fixed it, so don't worry about that. Something that I'm really excited about is that I actually got the finest yarn that I have gotten yet. And so my goal of trying to spin thinner, trying to spin more consistently, I was able to get a lot of practice with Tour de Fleece and with these yarns. And so I'm very excited that now I have that as a skill and a tool under my belt. I'm still going to keep working on it, but I have 3 one weight, the fingering or the superfine yarn. And then for Sailor Saturn, it ended up being a thick and thin 3 weight, and then the Midnight Swim is a very thick and thin for worsted or a medium weight. And so I'm going to show you guys those yarns real quick. So let's get this out of the way. So first up is the Sailor Saturn yarn. I love the way that this looks. It's super marbled and pretty. But in these areas where there's some of the brown from her bow, I believe, it kind of reminds me of PB&J. I don't know why. But this is the Sailor Saturn yarn. This is the 3-weight. Then up next is the Chibi Chibi Moon yarn. This one is so pretty. All of the color gradients in there. I love that I put the little bits of yellow. It's so pretty. This one is a 1-weight. So there are a couple of areas where it's a little bit thicker, but overall most of it is pretty thin. Next we have the Sailor Serenity or Princess Serenity. And this one is so pretty. I feel like this butter yellow color is everywhere. And I love the little hints of pink that I put in there. I was a little worried that you weren't gonna see them, but it actually ended up showing up. And then here is the Brazilian Lemonade with all of those fun greens. I think this looks really cool. I think it could also be really good for like a cactus project or something because of all of the little bits that are coming off of it. But this one is also a pretty consistent 1-weight. And then last but not least, we have the Midnight Swim. And this one is so pretty. I love all of the blues and purples in there. And even though I was just pulling random colors from my stash, it ended up matching the commercial yarn that I paired it with pretty much perfectly. And this one is not the most thick and thin yarn that I've ever spun, but you can even kind of see here how we have this bit that's a little bit more chunky and fluffy, and then we have some other bits that are a little bit thinner. This one ended up being a lot longer than I expected, but I guess that's good because then one of you guys will have more than enough to do whatever type of project you want with it. And that is the end of Tour de Fleece 2026. I'm so glad that I was able to participate this year, and I'll have something to go up against next year. With all that being said, thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video, and if you missed part 1, there will be a link in the description. And if you'd like to see more spinning adventures, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss those. And if spinning is not your thing, that's okay. Stay tuned for next week where I'll have a very special drawing style study. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!